If you don't have brand photos, are you even a real business? I'm sure Kier Adair has lots to say about this, and I'm really looking forward to digging into what brand photography really means to you as a creator and a business owner. So over to you, Kier. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to this session. I am so excited to share with you the magic of brand photography and how it can showcase you and your creative superpowers and how that can absolutely skyrocket your business. In this masterclass, we will show you not only the what and the why of brand photography, but how to create images that connect and convert, images that build relationships so it's easy for your audience to say yes to you, and images that share you and your story that silently sell you so you don't have to. I'm Kier Adair, a personal brand photographer, absolutely passionate about empowering business owners like you to be seen for you, be seen for your difference, and show up for what you stand for, because that's what we all need to see. And we all need to be able to see you to make the impact that you were born to make. So let's get into it. I will be sharing lots of visuals, as you can imagine. So let's go and enjoy.
Apologies for this short interruption. I'm just reminding you to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. If you think this has been good, leave a comment in the comment section as well. The speakers will read those comments. Thank you.
But first, why listen to me? I've been passionate about photography my whole life, but like many of us, I took the path of all the shoulds. I studied a scientific degree and then pursued a career in a blue chip corporation. And for many years, I did wonder, why did I stay as this square peg in this round hole for so long and squashing my creativity? But actually, now it's the foundations for all that I do today. It's how I actually present myself quite differently and actually have a very different approach to many photographers. And, you know, in the good old phrase of M&S, I'm not just any photographer. I'm one that actually creates a marketing asset for you and actually sees the customer journey that you need to take your clients and your audience through to actually allow them to go from your shop window all the way to purchasing at your till point. So I've also had that opportunity to understand what it's like to be hiding behind a brand that is not your own and literally be unseen, to then embracing brand photography for my own business and actually going from that place of unseen to unstoppable. I was always the one that was hiding behind the camera, offering to take the picture. Hence, I understood that quite early on I had this skill in photography because I never wanted to be in front of the camera. So I've also gone on this journey from camera shy to confident. And so I'm really able to see you, hear you, and actually hold your hand through this process of actually, you know, generating and creating really powerful images that, as I say, they're marketing assets. They're not just a pretty picture. And you'll see me talk a lot about it, so much more than a photograph. And also, you know, there's a proven strategy that we have that has worked for, you know, all my clients, has worked for me. And that's something that I'm going to share with you today so you can see how you too can actually skyrocket your business with the magic of brand photography. So what is brand photography? So, in essence, it's all about capturing you, your brand, your personality, and your values in a way that is actually telling a story, because we all love a story and we want to build relationships with our audience so that we can actually generate that know, like, and trust and actually move them from that place of just getting to know you to the point where they want to jump in and work with you. It's also about providing assets which allow you to be visible consistently and professionally in your marketing. And that's something that we'll obviously talk a lot about today as well. So why do we need brand photography? Well, this is the science bit. We've got 7 seconds to make an impression of you. And even more telling is that 1/10 of a second, we have to decide if we want to see more or just scroll on past. And nowadays, our attention span is actually less than a goldfish. So it's not just about stopping the scroll, but it's also about actually keeping your people with you, engaging and entertaining them so that actually they want to stay in your world and they want to absorb your content. So it's all about the visual. The visuals are the first things that we see, and our brains are just wired that way. So you can see here some incredible stats about how visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than text, and that 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual. So it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute starting point that we've got to absolutely attract our audience's attention with our visuals, but not only that, the right visuals. And that's the strength of brand photography. It's all about creating the right images for you and your brand. So why are brand visuals important? So it's all about people buying from people. So to do this, you need to be the face of your brand. You need to be showing your personality and values and telling your story so that people are going to start to fall in love with you and start to actually feel like they know you. And that comes because we create this connection through our visuals and we build the know, like, and trust that is all important. It's also about being seen as the expert. So telling your stories in such a way that people can see how you generate transformations, what it's actually like to work with you, and how you can be their person. And a lot of this is through the consistency and the way that you show up all the way through your customer journey, that people are just getting the same message reinforced in different ways through different visuals, that they're getting the picture and this familiarity with you, so that you have a clear message. And we all know a confused mind doesn't buy. So the more that you be clear about the way you do things, and we like to see what we're getting, and we also like to get what we see, that you're therefore just showing people as it is, and actually allowing people to see what it'd be like to spend time with you. And I talk a lot about as well the blind date test. So, ultimately, do your visuals look like you? Are they setting you up for success and starting out with that trust? So it's more than just a photo. You've heard me say this already, and I'll say it again because it's so much more than that. It's an asset, and there's all these places that you can see that they're really important. And, being seen as the expert, being seen as a professional is all about you then, up leveling your business and being taken seriously. When you invest in you and your business and your image, then people will take you seriously and will invest in you. So here's some examples of client successes from them doing exactly that. So here's one brand image that with one social media post generated 2 inquiries within 2 minutes. And that was all about her telling her story and her location and her backdrop, telling her clients exactly, what she was all about. And you can see that she's actually, full of confidence, which is what her business is all about. Then we have Keith here, who was all about wanting to up-level his business with professional images that would allow him to do more PR and have lots of media coverage. And he actually tracked his posts on LinkedIn pre and post the use of his brand images. And you can see here 43% uplift when he started using his images with his impressions, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then we have Laura here, who actually within a day of posting her new profile picture generated 5 new inquiries because she went from a selfie to a professional image where people started taking her and her business seriously. So I love to talk about the brand image effect and just how it's so much more than a photo, that you have more confidence when you have an image you're proud to share, which then enables you to become more visible, which then ultimately generates more clients because, you're out there, you're being seen for the impact that you want to make, more clients, gives you more confidence, and then you have that ability to be more visible. So it's this wonderful cycle of positivity from having images you're proud to share. So just take a moment and think, why do you do what you do? What would results like this mean to you? And what would you feel when you are truly visible and being seen as the expert, attracting your ideal clients and just being you? So the all important how, because that's all very well and good understanding the what and why, but how do we actually create images that connect and convert? And here you'll see it's so much more than getting shot. So we have a signature system called Connect, Capture and Captivate. So it's our triple C method where we will take you through the process. We will focus here on the connect element because that is the key elements to actually creating your images. And we'll just quickly reference the capture and the captivate. But you'll see here that the connect is the starting point. It's all about you, your brand, your values, connecting with all that's important to you. And then your stories. What are the stories that you need to tell that show you in your difference that would make you the obvious choice for your audience? And then it's all about connecting all the dots to design the perfect shoot that's actually going to bring all these elements together and be an experience that, as I say, is so much more than getting the shot. And I put there in brackets, like it's really important to connect with your photographer too, because obviously you want to feel good and relaxed. And the more you connect with them, the more likely you're just going to enjoy it and actually have images that show that and that positive energy. So the capture is all about being in the moment, doing what you love, forgetting the camera is there, and how your brand is brought to life, basically, whether that's in person or through a virtual experience. And then finally, the captivate is all about then how you use your brand images as the foundation to having a consistent approach in your marketing. So how you can keep showing up in a way that is really engaging and really entertaining, and with what we call the visual toolkit, which is all the different ways that you can start to utilize your brand images, because it's not just about the stills, it's about how you can create things from those and keep repurposing your content to keep your audience sticking with you and actually wanting to spend time with you. So let's dive into Connect. And this starts with connecting with your brand foundations. And a great place to start with this is to have 5 key words, which for me are freedom, natural, intuitive, joy, and positive. And so these are the words that if you were to cut yourself in half, they would be the very core of you. They would be the essence of all that you do and running through everything that you do. And once you've got these, what's brilliant is you can then always reference back to them and actually just see that whatever you're doing is aligned to your values, because they are going to be core to your brand. And so you can just pick out words that speak to you, or you can just brainstorm what feels right for you. And I'd say just trust your intuition on this one, that don't overthink it. Which are the words that really come to mind and that really captivate all that you do. And then what's great is to just actually context those words. So you can then share this with your clients, you can share it in your content, that people can really get a feel of what you're all about, and just another way that they can actually be attracted to what you do. So your personal brand identity, then, these keywords that are your values and your essence, are then the foundations to your brand colors, because psychology of colors is that when you have a color in front of you, people will have a certain feeling, a certain impression. And so if you then want to create that impression and for people to understand your values, then color is an absolutely fantastic way to do that. So we haven't got time to go through all the color psychology here today, and quite honestly, that's a whole other half an hour session that I could talk about color, because it's so powerful and it's so amazing. But just some headlines of what colors can mean, and you can see that for us as creatives, purple is a key color, but you'll also see lots of people in business use green because that's all about growth. Blue is also a key one because there's that element of trust and integrity, and a whole combination that works for different people depending on what your values are. So just a quick insight with mine, I was always going to have green as a basis because the positive way I like to work, the growth and the nature and the natural approach that I have with my photography. So, and green has always been one of my favorite colors. And you'll often find this, that your colors are ones that you naturally resonate with because, they feel good to you. Then optimism for me comes through the yellow and just the joy in the way I love what I do, and I love to generate joy in the process. And when people are in joy when they're having their picture taken, then oh my goodness, the pictures are joy. And it's just completely different place to where people might often start in fear about having a photo shoot. And then grey is quite a key one for me as well, that, where I have clients that are camera shy, it's really important that I'm calm and I'm actually balanced, and also, trusting my intuition in the process of capturing the right shot and being in the right moment. So those three colors were always the ones. The challenge was then actually finding the right tone and the right combination of tones actually that worked for me. So it's kind of a bit of trial and error initially to just see how you can get a palette that works for you. And then obviously from a photography perspective, you've then got editing styles that you can play with to either soften or make more vibrant, depending on how you want to come across. So your brand colors are a real key to a good photo shoot because they can actually steer you towards your outfits and your props. And I would say that outfits tend to be more neutral, and you don't have to wear your brand colors. What can work really well is if you use your accessories or your props or even your nails to actually bring your colors into the play. And when your colors are worked consistently into your brand images, then it's such a powerful tool because it's a real support of brand immersion. It's a real stamp of this is who you are, and a way that you can really visually be consistent. So the next part of Connect is your brand stories. And again, we're going to focus quite a lot on this because it's actually a part that a lot of people struggle with, because it's very easy to look around you and see all the people doing what you're doing and thinking, right, well, that's the image that I need. That's the story I need to cover. That's the set of visuals that I need. Whereas in actual fact, it needs to be all about what is right for you. How do you do things and how do you want to present yourself? So brand stories are slightly different to personal stories, and that it's actually about how you resonate with your ideal clients, how you can be relatable and real, and how you can get them to imagine what it's like to spend time with you, and also how you make the transformations and how you solve their problems so that actually, again, they'll be attracted to work with you. So the key stories tend to be around the ways you work, which is quite an obvious one, but also your lifestyle, where a lot of your brand identity will come through. Also your passions, because it's those that quite often really tell people, again, whether you're the kind of personality they want to spend time with, whether you can, have something in common. There can also be a story about your achievements. So maybe you're a speaker, you're an author, you're maybe have an award in something that you would want to showcase in your images. The three most popular brand stories to share are your work, your lifestyle, and your passion. And what I'm now going to share with you is some examples of clients and how these three kind of work and overlap to actually create this whole personal brand and image of who these clients are. So here we have Sally, an energy consultant that you can see she's working in a coffee shop. She is the font of all knowledge, but equally she is a local girl that people will recognise her in about enjoying the local town, because that's obviously important to her brand. She's also a singer-songwriter, so a high energy individual that you can just imagine with these three stories coming together, what it's like to have a consultation with her and how you would enjoy spending time talking about perhaps a dull subject, and it's just not everyone's cup of tea. So, she might be somebody that you would warm to because of all these high energy activities. We then have Keith, who is a procurement expert and a business consultant who works from home, so is online a lot, but also is, procuring the right products at the right price at his local builders merchant. So this is a key part of his story for his his clients and his customers to understand, but equally that his lifestyle and his passions are all around growth and business building for his family. So he's really passionate about making his business work and impacting on his customers in a positive way, that his business grows so that he can have the lifestyle he wants with his family, and just being out and about in the area, having his Costa as he loves to do with his family. So it's very real, it's very realistic, but it's absolutely how you can see his passions go into his work and his lifestyle. And then we have Paula, who's a divorce and relationship coach who also works from home and has her client consultations from home. So you can see it's really a warm environment that you can actually feel at home and comfortable with talking about, your relationship issues. Her brand is called Polly Bloom. So no surprise that she's passionate about her blooms, and actually her house is full of flowers, and she's also a family person. So this was really important to capture in her images. And her passion is also how children are within this whole, difficult process for many couples. And she's written a book for children, how to cope when your parents are going through divorce. So that obviously links back to her lifestyle of being a real family person. And all of it links up to this beautiful personal brand of her being Polly Bloom. We then have Emma, who is an ambassador of a health and wellbeing product range, where there's a essence of, you can work anytime, any place, anywhere. So you can see her working from home, but equally you can understand that she is very much a product of a product. She has images where you can see she loves the product, but also images of her passion as a runner and a fitness health addict herself. So it's really key that if you're somebody that wants to buy into a health and wellness product range, that you see that person actually living and breathing that, and you can actually imagine being a customer of hers. And finally, myself as a creative, my stories are, very similar in that they all overlap. So my work story is twofold, in that I have a consultancy part of my business where I'm a visual strategist, actually helping people with their customer journey through their visuals and their brand foundations, all these elements that are really key to actually, working with your audience. And obviously the photography side, where I'm in nature, very much enjoying being in the moment with my clients. I am a London-based photographer, so I absolutely love to be out and about in London, exploring and loving the city. So as much as actually being on my scooter in the local park, it's important that people see both of those sides, because that is actually the way I live my life, but equally how I work as well. And then my passion is my happy place of being in nature, just absolutely loving adventure and exploring. And my passion for, taking my camera wherever I go, and having been passionate about photography my whole life. So, no surprise that a lot of my clients I work with have images that they have taken in nature, because that's also a part of their story too. So, as you can see, it all kind of ties up to you starting to see what kind of relationship we would have, what it'd be like to work with me, and actually the type of imagery that we would generate together. So again, if you take a moment to think, what are your brand stories? Because this is so key that you really almost dig deep and unlock what are the real things that actually you want to share with people, that they can really then be attracted to you and your full personality, not just the surface level stuff, but all the other things underneath that would really resonate with your ideal clients. So the final phase is connecting all the dots to create your personal brand images. And you can see here all the links that ultimately tie into your style and your location to actually create the images that are perfect for you. And this then leads on to our brand shoot blueprint. So we've gone into quite some depth into the stories, the timings. It's actually about what's the right season for your images, but also if you're doing a day shoot, what's the timings of all the different elements, so that you can make sure that you can capture all you need to in the day. So that's obviously quite key. the outfits and the props, how do they align with your personal brand, as well as the places, what's the location, and within the location, what's the perfect backdrop? That's all something that is really key to look at. But then also the shots that you want, because a lot of people actually forget this element and spend a lot of money having a photo shoot, and then they get images that actually aren't suited for their end use. So really think about, where do you want to use your images? So therefore, what would the format, composition, and style of them need to be? And then also consider the image styles, because there's lots of different options. So I'm just going to whiz through here the three main types, which are your welcome, your storytelling, and your message brand imagery. So no surprise, your welcome imagery is anywhere that you actually make that first impression on somebody, sort of introduce them into your world. And some tips here about how you can actually make sure that your images are on point. And as I've said before, the main thing is, does it look like you? Would it pass the blind date test? Because that is where you really want to start and build a relationship of trust, not with an image that looks like you did 10 or 20 years ago, or even one that might be no longer relevant to your brand, because we all evolve as business owners. So it's really important to be current, seasonal, welcoming with your demeanor, and that it's obviously reflective of your brand. And another key thing as well is that it's looking towards your profile, because as humans, we follow the eyes into the direction of where the person is looking in the image. So always look towards the place of where you want them to go. So these are all sort of examples of welcome imagery, and how you might want to think about using yours in all the places other than just your profile picture. But it's more than a headshot. Your profile picture is your hello. You need a full brand shoot to continue the conversation. And the way we do that is with our storytelling images. And again, within storytelling, there's a number of different types, from the scene setting, and then honing into more of the story, and then to the real detail of the close-up. So almost imagine, the book cover, then the chapter headlines and all the indexing, the kind of insight to what is the story, to then the actual nitty-gritty of the book itself, with the close-up and the real focus of what you are actually wanting people to look at. So some examples here, with Sally, who you can see, has a range of images across her different stories that are both setting the scene, going a bit more into detail, and then really closing in on what is the aspect that you want to focus on. So for her, it's all kind of like the detail of her number crunching to get the best energy price for you, and just the real close up and honing into that beautiful energetic smile, which is key to her personal brand. Then we have message brand image styles, which I absolutely adore, because these are so powerful. So you can have expression shots which are full of personality and absolutely can really stop the scroll, because it's you in the moment doing it your way. So whatever is your way of expressing is the way that you want to come across in these images. And then if you are left or right of center, looking into the direction of what I call the superhero space, you then have the potential to put your marketing message. And these are brand images on a mission, because they are so powerful. The double win-win of you and your personality, with then the space for you to actually put your marketing message. So whether that's a promotion or a quote, or something that is really key that you want to stop the scroll and really get people attracting and looking at, then these messages are brilliant for that. They are also fantastic for signposting, whether you've got a mission statement or something that is really important to your brand, that you can really bring that to life and really help people resonate with a visual of the words. Flat lays are also great for this, because you can just, sometimes you want to have a placeholder that doesn't involve you, almost like your very own version of your stock image. So this can be, close-ups where it's just your hands, but it also can be things like these flat lays where it's tools of your trade, and then you have space for your messaging as well. So end use is so important to consider when you're thinking about creating the right images for you and your audience. So you can see here, the welcome images are really key, not just for your profile picture, but for bios, guest speaking, book launches. Then you have all the way to social media, where you need all of the different types of images, from your welcome for your profile picture, your storytelling and message brand images for your content, whether you're doing a promotion or whether you're just bringing your storytelling to life. And actually, when you've got things like blogs and articles that you're writing regularly, storytelling images are really, really key, because they can just really align with your content, so that you've got the beginning, the middle and the end, and you're really bringing together the text with your visuals. And it's proven with articles that there's a 97% increase in reading rate when you actually have visuals that are linked and relatable to your content. So these are all really important to consider when you're thinking about what images you want to have on your shop list, depending on your end use. And the final point is the customer journey of touch points, being that when you have all of these aligned, then absolutely you can have an amazing visual journey for your clients, which absolutely take them to the place that you want to go. So from your welcome images, your storytelling images, to your message brand images, when these are all consistently on brand, then you can have them across all these touch points. And here's an example of Jane Baylor, who does this incredibly well. Wherever she shows up, you can see that she has her brand message and her brand colors supported with her imagery, and everything is just lined up. So wherever you see her, it's a familiar brand message, which builds trust and familiarity and allows you to be really seen for your brand and your message. So just wrapping up then, the final parts of the signature system, which, as I say, we haven't got time to go into too much depth here, but just important to reference. So the capture is how you actually capture you in the moment, and the different ways that you can do this, from your in-person brand shoots all the way to your virtual experience. And whether it's headshots or a full brand shoot, there's just numerous ways that you can do this in a way that's right for you. And then the captivating your audience, all the different tools that you can pull together to have your brand images brought to life. So whether that's through GIFs or show reels or videos, there's so many different ways that you can use your brand images to keep repurposing your content, keep your audience entertained and engaged, and just keeping them dwelling with you and actually wanting to follow you. Because when you have your content in different ways, you'll attract different people that like to see things in different ways. So some people like to absorb videos, some people like to absorb just the stills. So you'll attract different people that way. But also, people that are following you and seeing you all the time will just see the same message in a different way, which is brilliant for actually just reinforcing your message, creating this brand immersion, and just really helping them to get to know you. And that's how we skyrocket our business with brand photography, connecting with you and all that's important to you, so that you can connect with your ideal client, capturing you in the moment at your very best, creating brand images that then become the foundations to your visual toolkit, so that you can captivate your audience. I'm Kier Adair, and as you've probably seen and heard, I'm incredibly passionate about empowering ambitious business owners like you to be seen for your difference and the superpowers that you have. I would love to offer you a complimentary brand brilliance brainstorm to continue your journey of brand photography with us. This is our version of a power hour, which usually sells at 145, and it's basically an opportunity to really go into the detail of your visuals and the customer journey, and just ensuring that you are connecting with your audience in the right way with all that you're doing with your visuals and your marketing. I would love to support you further in your journey, so please feel free to book this complimentary brainstorm or connect or chat. I absolutely love a virtual cuppa and would just love you to support you in the way that's right for you. If you've enjoyed today, then do scan that QR code and feel free to book a complimentary brand brilliance call where I'd love to work through your visual strategy for you and your business. Otherwise, as I say, I love a virtual cuppa, so jump on a call or just connect on either LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook through the links on my QR code. So thank you so much again. Enjoy the rest of the sessions and see you soon.
And that's it. The session is done. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course comment on the video. It really is appreciated to see all the engagement that we get alongside these videos. And of course, if you want to continue to watch these videos after the 48 hours of Creator Day, you can sign up for the Creator Meetup. The link is in the description, as well as the coupon code, and you can go and grab all of the replays and join us for our monthly networking and the other various activities that happen inside of the Creator Meetup. Thank you so much for the speakers, and we'll see you in the next session.